Electricity. It's become one of the most loved and used commodities in the 21st century. We use it in our everyday lives. Most of it goes unnoticed. Some say they can't live without it. But where does this electricity come from? How is it generated? And why does it matter? And how does Pasadena Water and Power play a part in getting you electricity? Today we will explore all the things that go into making sure the lights go on and the electricity keeps running. But first, let's look at the importance electricity plays in our everyday lives. The first thing we think of are smartphones. But remember, there are hospitals, homes, schools, businesses, even our entertainment. Can you live without electricity today? It would be quite a different world. The big question is how? How does electricity get to us? Where does it come from? To answer that, we need to do a little time traveling. Here we are in 1904. Edison has the contract to provide electricity for street lighting in Pasadena. The power costs 15 cents per kilowatt hour. Quite high for those days, and Pasadena's mayor, William Waterhouse, found Edison's service so disappointing that he refused to pay the company bill for the entire month of November in 1905. Then in 1906, Pasadena's leaders took a bond issue to the citizens for a municipal community-owned utility. This was the beginning of Pasadena Water and Power. Over the next 25 years, Municipal Light and Power overcame many obstacles, from surviving 2 world wars, helping fund the construction of City Hall and the Civic Center, lighting up the first football stadium in the West, and passing the Unfair Competition Act through California legislature. The Unfair Competition Act prevented companies from overcharging citizens in one community to offset the cost of underselling a competitor in another community. As a community-owned utility, our priority is you, our customers. The City Council is like our board of directors, and we all work together for the mutual benefit of the Pasadena community. There are a lot of policies and procedures, rules and regulations that have to be met to make sure we're doing right by you. Pasadena works with all of them to ensure we are meeting goals and following guidelines. So, how do we plan for growth and innovation in just everyday use of electricity? That's where the Integrated Resource Plan, or IRP, comes in. The IRP is our plan of how we are going to bring, service, and maintain electricity to Pasadena. The electricity that is being used right now, even to watch this video, was planned years ago, but generated at the instant it is consumed. Today, it is not stored in a vast array of batteries. There are no fields of batteries hidden in the desert. It's just not cost efficient. At this moment, there are workers at Pasadena Water and Power monitoring electricity that we are using right now. Every day, they have to predict what we are going to use tomorrow. Then they buy the electricity based on their predictions. Think of it like the stock exchange. They buy and sell electricity, predict what we're going to need. What we don't use, they sell. These guys are the best in the business with decades of experience. We've all seen the power plant in Pasadena. You know, the one over on Arroyo and Glen Arm. Despite what you may think, Pasadena's electricity isn't entirely made there. Electricity is brought to Pasadena substations from different states through multiple sources. Each source contributes power at different times, but at the same time working together to deliver Pasadena a constant flow of electricity. Now, all of this leads me back to the IRP. PWP's IRP will build on the foundation of earlier IRPs. We are taking what we knew in the past, modifying our plan so that we can set a course to secure reliable, sustainable, and affordable energy sources for our future. All the modifications to the existing IRP reflects the constant changing conditions. We are always trying to find smart, new, and better ways to deliver power to Pasadena. energy is produced in many different ways. Let's separate them in two categories. A more traditional or conventional group would include coal, natural gas, and nuclear. Our second category we'll call renewable. Those sources include solar, wind, geothermal, hydro, and landfill gas. Both groups are important, and PWP doesn't rely on just one. Each group behaves differently and has its own role in the overall supply portfolio. For example, let's say one of our sources is solar. Once a solar plant is built, the energy produced has no added cost or emissions, so PWP will take everything it produces. If there's cloud cover or even when it's nighttime, solar power is not being generated. No sun means no power. That's why conventional sources are still so important. Natural gas turbines produce energy whether the sun shines or not. All these sources are fed into a power grid at a very high voltage. From the power plants, the currents are carried over wires to transformers. The transformers take the high voltage and transform it to another voltage. The electricity moves through high voltage transmission systems across the state to more transformers. From there, it finally arrives to our substations in Pasadena. Once the electricity arrives here, it's immediately distributed to everyone. All these sources constantly work together to generate electricity and for the most part, go unnoticed. Happy customers. Even though people don't see the distribution of electricity, there is one thing they always notice. Their energy bill. There are a lot of words, numbers, and phrases that seem confusing. Let's take a look. Over here, you'll see the public benefit charge. The public benefit charge helps pay for energy efficiency programs, energy efficiency upgrades, rebates, solar installation incentives, and low-income assistance. Next, you'll see the customer service charge. This charge covers basic costs for meter reads, the call center, the payment center, preparing bills, and collecting payments. The distribution charge relates to the poles, wires, and transformers that actually deliver electricity to us within the city of Pasadena. It covers the field crews and their vehicles, electric meters, overhead and underground vaults. It also goes towards the cost of maintaining, operating, and improving the system that delivers electricity to homes and businesses. Without those tools and people, we wouldn't have electricity. Now we'll take a look at the transmission charge. This is Pasadena's share of the large, high-voltage towers and cables that bring electricity to Pasadena from other locations. This includes sources like the wind, solar, natural gas, and coal plants located elsewhere in California and even out of state. The energy charge. This is the cost of electricity itself from all sources, conventional and renewable. All those sources of electricity make up what we call a portfolio. Pasadena always tries to have a diverse portfolio. Ours includes a mix of coal, hydroelectric, natural gas, nuclear, and renewable. The renewable sources include biogas and landfill gas, geothermal, solar, small hydroelectric, and wind. Each resource has a different level of cost, reliability, and sustainability. Wind, for example, is very good for the environment, but isn't very reliable since it only produces energy intermittently when the wind blows. Coal, on the other hand, is very reliable since it can produce energy day or night, but due to emissions, coal is not very environmentally friendly. California mandated that Pasadena's Renewable Portfolio Standard, or RPS, meet a minimum of 33% renewable energy by the year 2020. But we're Pasadena, and that's not good enough for us. Take a look at this. This is us. That's right. We're well on our way to meet the state's target, and we've set our own goal to reach 40% renewable energy by 2020, which is above the California standard. We are always balancing how much conventional and renewable energy is being used, while making sure that the energy sources are reliable, the cost is manageable, and our plan is sustainable. As PWP receives energy from all of its conventional and renewable sources, it's then distributed to you, the customer. Electricity has to be generated and used at the same time, so as we grow, our power needs will grow too. The power market always fluctuates as the balance between the need for power and available resources changes constantly. Sometimes resources are not available at any price. Having our own power plants greatly reduces how much we depend on outside resources. That's why the IRP is essential. As time goes on, we must meet the needs of all consumers, utilizing a resource loading order. The resource loading order means finding the most sustainable way to meet the future needs of our customers. Before PWP will invest in traditional power plants, we will encourage energy efficiency, distributed generation, and renewable energy. PWP encourages energy efficiency through a variety of programs and services that are available to help you conserve energy and save money. You might be surprised to find things around your home could qualify for PWP rebates. Energy Star lighting rebates, skylight rebates, sunshade screen rebates, refrigerator rebates, pool pump rebates, cool trees rebate, clothes washer rebates, ceiling fan rebates, window rebates, door rebates, AC rebates, attic and roof fan rebates, cool roof rebates, whole house fan rebates. Wow, that's a lot of rebates. Visit us online for more details and take advantage of these amazing programs. You'll not only save money, but you will also be helping Pasadena. Another thing that PWP encourages, along with energy efficiency, is distributed generation. Distributed generation is electricity that is produced locally in Pasadena by smaller generators. Most distributed generation is owned and used by electric customers to reduce their purchases from PWP. Most of the electricity that we use in Pasadena is generated in large facilities located in other counties or states. That electricity is transmitted long distances to arrive here. Since distributed generation is located in Pasadena, it results in lower environmental impacts and improved security of electricity supply. Some customers can use the waste heat from on-site distributed generators to provide hot water or steam, further increasing their efficiency. PWP encourages distributed generation through favorable net metering rates. Rebates are offered to all PWP customers that install solar PV systems through the Pasadena Solar Initiative. Distributed generation sounds wonderful, doesn't it? Local clean power, fewer environmental impacts, and improved security of electricity supply. But there are many challenges associated with distributed generation, such as cost. DG has large upfront cost. Operation responsibilities. Because you, the customer, own the generation, you are responsible for the maintenance, operation, and air emissions reporting and permits. And one of the biggest challenges is space. Space to install a distributed generation in Pasadena is very limited. Take a look at the largest solar energy system located in Pasadena on Caltech's campus. The size of their solar energy system is 1.2 megawatts. That's enough to power less than 1% of Pasadena on an average day. On the hottest days of the year, Pasadena uses around 300 megawatts of energy an hour. Let's take a look at what 300 megawatts of solar would look like in Pasadena. Whoa, that's a lot of solar. And yet, it's still not enough to power PWP's annual needs. Energy efficiency and distributed generation is important because it's power that PWP does not have to purchase. Over the course of these videos, we've talked about how electricity gets to Pasadena and the different sources it comes from. But how is Pasadena Water and Power deciding on future energy sources? How does PWP know what's best for this city? This is exactly where the IRP comes in. What is an IRP? IRP stands for Integrated Resource Plan. It's Pasadena's 20-year plan to provide customers with reliable, environmentally responsible, and affordable electric service. We have to take into account future energy demand, advancements in renewable and conventional energy resources and technology, energy efficiency, conservation, changing power and fuel market conditions, and forecast changes in regulatory requirements. Although our current IRP is projecting for the next 20 years, our past IRPs also have an impact on what we're doing today. And we update our IRP every couple of years to respond to changing conditions. Since our last IRP, we have been able to reduce coal power purchases from the Intermountain Power Project in Utah, replace old technology at the local plant on Arroyo Parkway and Glen Arm Street, continue to maintain and upgrade locally generated energy at our power plant, implement aggressive energy efficient and load reduction programs, achieve a renewable energy percentage of over 27% in 2013. Pasadena also has a goal to increase the proportion of renewable power to 40% by 2020. We want to achieve 15 megawatts of locally owned solar photovoltaic power by 2020 and 19 megawatts by 2024, encourage other local clean distributed generation sources, and cut carbon dioxide emissions by 40% by 2020. We are very pleased with our progress so far, and we are always trying to improve. This is why public involvement, your involvement, is so important. Through advisory groups and our outreach programs, we get to hear from you, our customer. Your input on how we can service you and the community better is vital to the IRP. The 2014 IRP will build on the foundation of previous IRPs with appropriate modifications to reflect changing conditions. Our objective is to optimize the PWP portfolio and to achieve a sustainable balance between system reliability, fiscal responsibility, and environmental stewardship. In preparing this IRP update, we take our need for balancing reliability, sustainability, and cost into account when planning for the future. This plan is projecting things from now to the year 2034. 20 years sounds like a long time, we know, but it's a plan that is fine-tuned every few years. As policies and programs change, we are adapting to all those changes. As old contracts expire, we plan to replace them with new contracts that incorporate clean, renewable energy. The IRP lays out a plan to address future needs and concerns and provides an evaluation tool that guides future energy procurement. I invite you to go to our website to find details about what we're doing and where we're headed. And of course, we would love to hear from you about what you think our energy plan should look like. Which is most important to you? Reliability, affordability, or sustainability? How much are you willing to pay for future renewable electricity? When should PWP stop using coal as a resource? How much of our future needs should be met with conservation or distributed generation? We take every comment seriously, so please visit our website, email us, visit us on social media, take one of our surveys, or attend one of our public meetings. Your voice is important to us, and we would be happy to hear from you.